Most toys and game creators never launch their product. They just list it on Amazon. It sounds like the same thing, but it really is not. The difference is why some launches really die in the first 30 days, while some launches become very successful right out the gate. Listing it just means you flip the switch to make for it to go active and wait. Launching it means you have a coordinated push, a day, a sequence, a velocity that you created that tell Amazon this product deserves to be ranked. One approach, your product will disappear altogether. The other approach, your product can potentially take off. I'm Jason Shea, founder of Toy Launch. We handle Amazon management, digital marketing. We have our own in-house studio. We also manage TikTok shop for toys and game brand. Over the last 6 days, you have built every single pieces of your Amazon journey. In this final video, we're going to put everything together into a real launch plan with a day on. And here's a belief to flip one last time. Most people think launching is the moment you hit active. It's not. The launch is everything you orchestrate, plan around that moment. Let me show you how you can actually build it. This is the final day of our 7-day Amazon launch challenge. Today's you start preparing and you start committing. We're coming out today with a real plan, not a rough idea, not a list of intention, but a plan. So the difference between a launch and a listing go live is most Amazon seller or like toys and game seller that's launching on Amazon don't launch their product. They just list it. They create a listing in Seller Central, send in their inventory, turn it active, and then they just sit and wait. Then they wonder why nothing happened. The algorithm doesn't know what to do with a listing with no sales. So it doesn't really get any traction. There's no ranking. There's no organic buyer. There's no review. It is a cycle that kills a lot of otherwise solid product before they even had a chance. A launch is different. A launch is coordinated. It has a date. You have a sequence. You have email. You have social media. You have influencer activation, ad campaign, promotional offers, all designed to create velocity in your first 30 days. Velocity is what tells Amazon algorithm that your product is worth ranking. Ranking is what creates organic visibility. Organic visibility is what builds a sustainable business. Today, you're building the launch, not just the listing. So part one, inventory and FBA shipment plan. The first thing you need to confirm is that your inventory is actually on its way to Amazon Fulfillment Center. Log into Seller Central and create your inbound shipment plan. Amazon will tell you which fulfillment center to send your product to. And then this is determined by your product type and location. Follow their guidance and split your shipment across multiple centers. It's very common, so you will add a few days to your lead time. But try to work around it. It's not worth the complication. So just follow Amazon's instruction. Usually they now ask you to split it to 5 different locations most of the time. And then confirm your inventory quantity with your supplier. Make sure your ship date is locked in and the timeline you get your inventory. You also understand the timeline to get your inventory into FBA before your planned launch date. Give yourself a buffer, at least 1 week between where your inventory is received and confirmed at Amazon and your launch date, because sometimes things can get delayed. So make sure you build that buffer right now. Then if you have an email list, you want to build an email launch sequence. Even if you have a small email list, this is one of the highest leverage launch tool you can use. A warm audience that already know you and your brand is going to convert a much higher rate than a cold Amazon traffic. Your launch email sequence should spend about 2 weeks leading up to your go live date, and then 1 week after that. So you can have a couple different email in this sequences. A week before the launch, you can send out maybe 3 emails. One is announcement, your product is coming out. Yeah, here is what it is, why you created. We usually will create a behind the scene, show them something from development process, introduce the product story, build some anticipation. Email 3 is early access. You can also invite your list to be among the first buyer, ideally with the launch discount, and create some sort of urgency. Then during the launch week, you want to send out 2 more emails. One email that go out on launch day when you're live, given the link, given the offer. Then the second email, you go out 3 days after launch to get more social proof and get more early review as well. And reminder of the launch offer is still active. So week 1 after the launch, you can send them a couple more email. This is almost like your follow-up and nurture sequence as well, to remind them how like, oh, your product is still there. And you can definitely set up all this email right now and include email marketing as part of your launch strategy as well. And for those of you that doesn't have done email marketing in the past, we will also include some email launch campaign sequences as a swipe file that you can just download it for free free inside our communities, Toys and Game Launchpad. And we also share the calendar we use to run some of our own launches. So you can grab it at toy-launch.com/group. We'll also include a link in today's video description. The third strategy you can also consider is influencer and bloggers outreach. Third-party endorsement from people your buyer already trusts are one of the most effective way to drive launch traffic. So try to identify like 20 to 30 influencer is in your niche. For toys and game brands, there are a lot of parenting bloggers, family YouTuber, blog and reviewers, or educators that you can reach out to that talk about products like similar to yours. And you're not looking for the biggest account. You're looking for an account with real engagement that's willing to create content for you for free in exchange for a commission. So make sure you reach out to those influencers before your launch day, offer product sample in exchange of a like honest review or honest video coverage, and then you offer them a commission as well. Be very straightforward about what you're asking for and what you're offering. The more genius influencer in the niche category will respond positively to a well-crafted outreach messages about a product that's really relevant to their audience. So the goal of influencer outreach for launch is not a massive impression. It's really conversion qualifying traffic from people who trust the people recommending your product. Even small influencer with a few thousand engaged followers in your exact niche can drive some meaningful early sales for you and your product as well. Part 4 is your promotional campaign. Your promotional campaign is the lever you can use to drive initial launch velocity. And here is why it really matters. When you first go live, you have no review, no sales history. So the algorithm doesn't know how to rank you. The way you can break through this is velocity, a burst of sales in your first couple of days and weeks to signal to Amazon your listing is worth ranking higher. A launch discount, especially combined with your email sequence, your influencer outreach, and your ambassador program from day 6 that I talked about before, can really create that burst of activities. The most common structure for toys and game launches is like 10 to 20% launch discount for the first couple of weeks. You can combine that with a coupon visible in the search result as well, and that will really improve your click-through rate in addition to provide additional incentive to purchase. So you need to decide right now, like, what is your launch discount? What is the duration? Is that a coupon? Is that a sales price? Is that both? How does it align with your influencer outreach and email sequence? Are you giving your email list an exclusive deal? Or is the offer public? Your promotional campaign need to be profitable even at a discounted price. So you need to go back to day 1 when we did the margin calculation and confirm your numbers still work at your launch price. If they don't, your discount might be a little bit too steep. Then part 5 is external traffic strategy. External traffic is any traffic you drive to your Amazon listing from outside of Amazon. It could be from social media, email, blog, pay ads. This really matters for 2 reasons. First, it creates additional sales velocity. Like I mentioned, the more sales signal to Amazon during the first 30 days, it really signal your listing has demand and should rank a lot higher. Second, Amazon algorithm appear to give additional weight to traffic that originated externally because it signal that your brand have visibility beyond Amazon itself. So your external traffic strategy for launch should include, at a minimum, your email sequence driving to your list, your influencer placement driving to your listing, any organic social content you are publishing in the week leading up to and during the launch. And if you are running paid social ads, it could be Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, they should be driving to your listing during the launch period. And even some like very low, modest paid social budget during your launch period, focusing on your exact buyer persona can really create a meaningful differences for your initial launch. So next, part 6. Now you need to come up with your full launch timeline. So you're going to put all this together into a single timeline. Start with your go live date. Work backwards. When does the inventory need to arrive at FBA? When do you need to start your ambassador outreach? When do you need to send your first pre-launch email? When do you reach out to influencers? When do you set up PPC campaign? When they should go live the same day as your listing? So make sure you set all that up before you go live. Put in every single milestone on the calendar with a specific date and specific person responsible for those activities. If you are a solo founder, every item is going to be for you. But if you have a team, assign it clearly to your team member as well. A launch timeline exists only in your head. It's not a launch timeline. Write it down, put it on a shared calendar, put it on the project management tool that you use, and treat every deadline as a real deadline. So that's a recap of what we have talked about today. First, you want to create your FBA shipment. Second, you want to create an email launch sequence. Third is you want to reach out to influencers as part of your campaign. Then fourth is you need to come up with your promotional campaign details. What is the discount percentage, duration, and structure? Then what is your external traffic strategy as a whole? Then you need to come up with your own full launch timeline with specific date and also like exactly what is the milestone item. So when you finish today's checklist, you should have a complete Amazon launch plan, not a rough idea, not a to-do list, but a real plan. You spend 7 days building the foundation of your Amazon launch. You have checked the compliance, you confirm your margin, you have done the research to understand your buyer, you develop brand and packaging, you have written your review, your listing, you have planned your visual, you will even build your review and PPC system. So, and you also know how to launch. So now it is the time to execute everything you have learned. Everything you have built this week, it all has a home inside our free communities, toys and game launchpad, all 7 days of training, every single workbook, checklist, the full launch calendar template, and the email sequences, influence outreach template, and also a room full of other toys and game creators will be walking through the exact same thing that you are. So feel free to join our communities by visiting toy-launch.com/group, or you can find the link in the video description today. So you have done the work this week, so you know what a strong Amazon launch should look like. So open today's checklist inside the free communities, finish the final lesson, and you're ready. Let's go.